There's a science to disruption.
I want to know the science.
If you don't understand that science, your engine, your startup engine, it will never start.
Okay, so what's the science?
Okay, so firstly, we have to set a foundation, because every time you talk about disruption, you must always talk about innovation. Always talk about innovation. However, there are myths to innovation that is not making a lot of people take advantage of it. For instance, a lot of people, when it comes to innovation, they think it's technology. They always think that innovation has to come with technology. I tell people I am innovating in my space, but it's not technology I'm using. I'm using humor. And it has worked so well that we've touched at least one of the top 3 organizations in every major sector of the Nigerian economy. Humor, and I'm using humor in consulting, management consulting, humor and gamification. It's not technology. Does technology enable it? Of course. However, also realize that research by McKinsey showed that there's no positive or negative correlation between companies that put a lot of money into R&D in terms of innovation and the return on that innovation. Because beyond technology, there are quite a number of other things that has to be innovated. For instance, if we talk about innovation and all we're thinking is technology, then you would realize that companies that don't play the technology space can never innovate. That's what you're saying. So innovation is not necessarily just technology. Then innovation is also not one breakthrough idea that nobody has heard of before. It's not. So when we say innovation is novel, it doesn't necessarily mean that it is something nobody has heard of before. It means that it is novel to the market. And sometimes your market is just it's just small size of the market. So, and innovation doesn't have to be gigantic. Sometimes it's just incremental. So if you have this at the back of your mind, you now take it and ask yourself, you're innovating for a reason. You're innovating because of the customers. So incumbents have huge market share. They always have huge market share. However, incumbents cannot meet the needs of the entire market. They can never meet the need. There's a market that they are not meeting that need, a subset of the market they are not meeting the need, or they are underserving that market. So the goal for someone coming in is to look at that
market
that they are not serving or underserving, and ask yourself, how do I serve this particular market in such a way that I become the market leaders to that particular segment of the market? Let's use a case in point. So, for instance, let's take the financial services.
Yes, ma'am.
So the traditional banks, the market leaders are the Zenith, the First, the GT. These are the market leaders.
Yeah.
They are the big boys. Now, there are other businesses, there are other brands like FCMB. I'm sure FCMB is not a market leader in the banking space.
No.
I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
I'm certain. However, a lot of people don't realize that they looked at that space and realized that while we may not be able to meet compete head to head directly with these big guys, there are subsets of the market that we can become market leaders in. So let me first use LAPO. LAPO came into the space, and instead of focusing on the traditional banking that these guys are doing, they focused on small businesses. Let us be the go-to people for small businesses when it comes to loans. So if you think about LAPO, what comes to your mind?
Very true.
Is loans for small businesses.
Their brand is heavy, man.
Are you telling me consulting? It's major. Now, while people are looking at the big businesses and thinking, LAPO took on the small businesses and started with some people started capital at 5,000 naira. And they started with them at 5,000 naira. Their businesses are worth over 500 million. And it was LAPO that grew them to that point. So they are loyal to LAPO. Because when those other banks did not look at them, LAPO saw them. So Um, Now back to FCMB. So FCMB decided to create another brand, most unknown to most people, and said, okay, while LAPO is servicing um, loans to small businesses, we service civil servants with loans. And that FCMB business is called Credit Direct.
And one of their key partners, Nigerian Police Force.
You will make heaven, sir. Kelechi, do anyhow, you still make heaven.
Nigerian
Because-
Police Force.
You know, if you work in the civil service, anyhow it goes, your salary will be paid eventually.
True.
Do you understand? Eventually, that salary will be paid. And so it's a good market because you're setting the certainty of the income. The volume might not be much, but the frequency is sure. And so they plugged into that. And so when it comes to loans for a lot of small businesses, they're not going to traditional banks. They do LAPO. When it comes to loans for civil servants, they do Credit Direct. So you see how innovation takes a place in disruption. There's a way to play. But as you now see it, as it is now, if we that are not necessarily now maybe big players with the traditional banks, when we think of wanting to do loans, you are sure that you are easily able to get a loan from a LAPO than you are able to get it from the traditional banks.
Yeah, true.
And that is it.
But Lapo should come and give us our check. This is